All right, that was a wonderful first panel. Let's give them another round of applause. Well, we are the First Ladies Health Initiative, and we want to take a moment before we go into our next panel discussion to honor First Ladies and faith leaders that are making a tremendous impact in women's lives. The first person that we want to honor is Dr. Carrie Bryant. Dr. Bryant is a vibrant pastor, author, and transformational leader dedicated to empowering women to live with purpose. As First Lady and Executive Pastor of Creative and Experience at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, she blends faith, innovation, and leadership to create transformative worship experiences and meaningful community impact. A proud graduate of Morris Brown College and the Candler School of Theology at Emory University, Dr. Bryant is the visionary behind the Nudge Mentorship Initiative, Life Behind the Collar, and the Lit Life Bible Study and Worship Series, platforms designed to cultivate spiritual growth, leadership, and sisterhood. She is passionate about women's empowerment and spiritual renewal, and she continues to inspire through her authenticity, her bold faith, and commitment to helping others walk confidently in God's purpose. Dr. Bryant, we just want to thank you so much for all that you have done, and we want to take a time to just honor you and award you the Light of Healing Award. Thank you so much. All right, the next person we want to honor is Dr. Debra Morton. Yes. We are honored to celebrate Dr. Morton. She is a visionary pastor, author, and faith leader who has built a legacy of service. Dr. Morton has empowered audiences worldwide through her books, through her stage productions and outreach, helping women strengthen their faith identity and their voice. Her ministry has touched thousands, and her leadership continues to strengthen families, elevate women, and bridge faith with public health action. Thank you so much for all that you do, Dr. Morton, and we are so excited to honor you for our Lifetime Ministry Award.
Our first panel, I'd like to call up Miss Shamea Morton. Our next panelist is Miss Demetria McKinney. Our next panelist, Debra Morton, faith leader and founder of the Greater Women of Excellence Ministry.
Oh, wow. So my baby's going to be 1, and I don't pretend to have a ton of wisdom in my first year. I would say that motherhood has changed me entirely. It has heightened the best parts of me. It has made me a fierce protector, but it has truly changed my worldview. And even though my mother named me Charis because it meant grace, I have learned a new level of grace for every person in my life, but especially mothers. Grace is something that we need more than anything, and I didn't know it until I needed it.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful. Shamea, in your motherhood journey, it's been a roller coaster, to say the least. Where were the moments you had to fight to be heard?
Oh my goodness. The one that stands out to me the most would be when my left fallopian tube ruptured and I was bleeding out internally. They put me in a wheelchair, they rolled me over. Now I'm speaking again and I'm telling them what I'm feeling. I'm cramping. I feel like, I just keep saying, I feel like I'm gonna die. And I just felt lightheaded, and the nurses were very dismissive, like, okay, ma'am, can you stand up and feel this out? I'm like, I cannot stand up. Like, okay, and I'm vomiting, like profusely, just vomiting. They can you please try to keep vomit in here? And I'm like, I'm trying, like, hold on to my vomit, and it's just like intense, right? I've never felt this before. I called her and she's like, I am on my way. We got to get you out of there. My mom had time to drive from Decatur, Georgia, all the way to Northside. We left my car there, over to Emory. Immediately, they took me back. They did my vitals. And yeah, I wasn't running a fever. Because those are the things that they check for at Northside. Oh, you don't have a fever. Your blood pressure's not high. You're fine. You have a few people in line ahead of you. But at Emory, the sign said, depending on the severity of your situation, someone might be asked back before you. And it's crazy because when they took me back, that's when blood just started to pour out. And it's so insane to think about now. And just for moms in general, people that are just wanting to procreate, people that just want to grow their families. I mean, I said it over 100 times. And I had some issues with my first daughter, but with just my blood being thin and just bleeding out in the operating room because I had a C-section. So this time along, it was like, this is a whole nother ball game. And my husband and I had been trying for so long because, at this point we had Shiloh. She'd already been born, and we're like, wow, now it's a miracle. I'm pregnant, but now I've lost my child, but also I've lost my left fallopian tube. Was devastating, traumatic, but to not be heard was the most traumatic thing of all. The people at Northside reached out to me to open up a case and, all the things, but it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. And just the attitude that you receive when you're just trying to save your own life. I just can't even, I don't wish that on. And I got a lot of people that I don't like on my show. Okay. But I don't wish it on my worst enemy. Everyone deserves to be heard, and we're entitled to good health care. We have insurance, we pay our taxes, we do our part. Like, can you step up for us and just save our life? Just listen to us. So that would be my story for sure.
Can I ask a follow-up question? Because I think it's very good that you went to another hospital, you got a second opinion, which is crucial. What did you learn about trusting yourself? Because here you are in a hospital and they're saying nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong. So what did you learn about trusting yourself and advocating for your body in that process when people are telling you nothing's wrong with you?
You know what? And I think my tears come from, not for myself, but for so many other people that tried to advocate for themselves. Like listening to that first panel and how she lost her daughter breaks my heart because I'm somebody's daughter, right? And as much as I spoke up, I know she did the same thing, but yet she's not here to sit on another panel to tell her story. So that's where my heart comes from. My heartbreak comes because I wasn't the first. I won't be the last person with this story. And that's the hurtful part of it.
You talk about your mother was there to advocate for you, Shamea. And I want to jump over to Demetria. Demetria, you survived so many things throughout your life and throughout motherhood, and your community may look a little different. Can you speak more about community and what that could look like?
First off, it's an honor to be here amongst such dynamic, incredible souls. My community looked a little bit different. I was raised in the church, sang every hymn, did all the things. I'm a deacon's kid, but my mother married a man who liked me more than he liked her. So there was a point where I was kicked out. There was a point where I was homeless. There were all of these different things, but there was never a point where I felt like I felt maternal love. So at the point that I am out in these streets and get pregnant, that was the scariest thing that I could have come up with. I didn't understand how to be a mother because I didn't really feel like I had one. And community looked at these people as pillars. They utilized the word to make me submit even though I knew better. So by the time, I'll never forget it, Jesus, Sicily, 1947, what's happening? You know, these things, morning sickness, couldn't be me, right? Yes. She said, you are pregnant. I passed clean out right there. Nope. That poor soul. Because motherhood in and of itself is its own journey individually, right? But if you don't have a mommy mentor, if you don't have a safe space to go to where you can have those hard conversations. My son, when I went to go for my prenatal visit and I heard his heartbeat, I said, all right, kid, we're going to do this together. At the end of the day, regardless of who is there, mom, dad, man, who, it's always going to be me and you. I went through toxemia with him, had never heard of that. Everything swollen me. I was a single mom, even though I was with somebody. He was young too. He didn't understand it. I didn't understand it, but I had to live it differently because we are doing the thing. And that's another thing. Are we designed for this? Yes. But the building and the delivery and the maintenance takes work and communication. So, went through toxemia, went through 23 hours of labor, but life happened, things happened, people came and went. But that kid that I was scared of has saved me more times than he will ever know. So I empathize and I look to these heroes up here with me, but I would hope that the thing that you take from me is understanding that motherhood starts way before you get pregnant. Motherhood starts with understanding that you have to know your status of your vaccinations. You have to know your status of your sexual interactions. You have to understand your body chemistry, know your blood type, ask the questions, get into that space, find a mommy mentor now. And it's not going to come in the place you expected. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest thing. God always has a ram in the bush. But if you have any ideology that you want to bring life forth from you, know you.
One more question. What do you want mothers who may feel alone in their journey to know?
That you're not. It's so easy, y'all. It's so easy to feel dolo in this thing. And you could have the most loving man right next to you. You could have church right behind you, and you can still feel so alone because the way you need to express your you in that moment may not be conducive. One of the ways I got through, especially with the mental health part of it, because we didn't talk about that when my kid was young. That was not a factor. You stressed, that's not a mental health issue. You tired, take a nap, get back up and keep going. The superwoman complex, right? But what I did with Cairo, once a month, I can't say what I called it because this is First Ladies. But once a month, I dedicated, we'll call it an FM day. Forget the kid, forget the mom, forget the bills, forget the man, forget that. That was the day that I dedicated to doing whatever I wanted to do. That was my light at the end of that month-long tunnel that I could dedicate into sewing into me, whether that was going to the movies or sitting in the house by myself, picking my nose and flicking what I found at the wall. Whatever I wanted to do, that is what I did. And that is why, as a single mother and a mother who did not have that predecessor coming back and giving me wisdom, guidance, information, communication, strength, love, vulnerability, all of those things, that is where I went to sow into me in a way that allowed me to be what I needed to be for him, which in turn has made him the adult in this relationship. That's it.
It's beautiful. Dr. Debra, Morton, I'd like to turn it to you. You've spent decades ministering women, building villages centered in community, and breaking barriers in the church. How can faith communities wrap around mothers in ways that are healing rather than dismissive?
So that's a great question because that's what I feel I teach, not just being a part of the church, but teaching others in the church how we must present ourselves to the world. So I make no bones about it. I love God. I'm in Christ, all of that. But what does that look like with people having issues all around you, the neighborhood? A lot of us move to the suburbs and we forget there are issues. But he called us into the world. So I'm so glad I think I heard it. Motherhood, first of all, my approach is from God. How else do you have a baby? Who made you? So I don't want to preach, but my first scripture is that God is a spirit. They that worship in spirit and truth. Because motherhood is actually God using you to bring forth a life. So I would think I would consult the person who enabled me, leading me into all truth. I brought those girls into the church so I can give them that part of life, because all stuff happens. And motherhood is so serious, and I begin to think about I had 2 miscarriages myself, but the worship of the one who gave you the baby, no matter if you were homeless, no matter if you're sick, no matter what, his spirit, the intuitiveness that you need will make you sense what you need to go get, no matter where you are. I just believe that it happened to me. Because you're in church, you don't know everything, especially when you're a first-time mother. Yeah. But 2 things happened to me. One, I was having a miscarriage. When I got to the doctor, I didn't know what was happening, the bleeding. At the door, I had never been to this doctor. At the door was a sign, Lord, guide my hands to everyone I touch. I knew I was good. He said, you're a lucky young lady. He rubbed my leg. He said, if you had come here a little bit shorter, this would be a different story. Wow. Because the baby had aborted, and he said the poisoning would have gotten in your system. To me, that was God sending me there at the right timing. The second thing that happened with my last kid, I had great pregnancies, and then I lost, and I thought I couldn't have another. But I got great kids. Motherhood is the greatest. Can I get anybody to say amen? Motherhood is the greatest. I got a PJ Morton, come on, a preacher, Jasmine. I got great kids. I went and I was having a miscarriage. No, I went to deliver my baby, and my husband, it took long, the prepping and all. They say, oh, you're good. You just many centimeters. So he went to, I don't know if y'all know, old school Morrison cafeteria. Okay. He always had food on his mind. You should have me on your mind. He couldn't take it, blood. I heard somebody say that. So he left, and I want to celebrate the good caretakers. If you're in the house, people who are dedicated to their job. So I'm in a room. At first, this lady was so rough, shaving. I was like, listen. I was like, can you wait, my husband? She was like, no, look. But she was actually doing her job. She went away, and I didn't know where she was. And she came back. She said, that's it. I called the doctor. Something is happening. And I said, really? I said, how did you know? I've been monitoring you, she said, on the screen. He's already coming. Oh, that's when she started going fast and shaving. And I said, oh. She was like, listen, I don't have time. I'm sorry. I can't wait for your husband. I can't wait for anything. And the doctor came, and I kept saying, through my pregnancy, health and wholeness in Jesus' name. I kept saying it because I had bled earlier in the tub with her, and she still was there. When he came, he had to, she was turning and breached whatever and get her. But I kept saying it, and as soon as she came and I heard the crying, I got hysterical. I was like, bring me my baby, bring me my baby. And my husband was like, calm down. I was like, I want my baby. I wanted to see the prayer I prayed, health and wholeness, was her life. And she was the prettiest what I had, hair all over her face and head. And so my thing is being sensitive to that. You do need a village. I love that she said that you created that, because you're really like a dummy in the beginning. You think you know everything until you get pregnant. It's like you're so nervous, and the old folk tell you all kinds of stuff. Don't put your feet up. Don't, you know, I'm old, and they were older, so don't bend your head. What? You're gonna kill the baby. Don't eat that. I'll close with saying, it takes a village, but it takes a village with somebody spiritual in it. That when there are no books and there are no answers to what's happening, and I'm so sorry about the mommy that lost her daughter. The world is colder. There is not a lot of sensitivity. So I always carry him with me. Because him with us can teach you and show you and direct you better than anybody else. And even the worst in the healthcare system, God will direct your path and he will take care of you. The devil is busy. Yes, people lose babies. My daughter lost a baby. My first grandchild died at 1.5. After a great time at the Bahamas at the fair, and her ear, she got there, they brought her to, she was 2, I think, nursery, and she died immediately. When she got to the hospital, she developed some kind of disease. So I was heartbroken for my daughter, but you can make it after. God will strengthen you to those who've lost. But when we get strengthened, and I had the scripture here, but I don't, the Bible says, when you get strengthened and you get delivered, if you will, or you go through something and you get over it or through it, go help somebody else. We have become too, I'm going to say an old school word, stuck up. Dr. Oliver is here. She's not stuck up. Glad to see you. You got to help somebody else. You got to care about people. You got to care about mothers. They're meant. I was at Yale University. My assistant's daughter graduated, and they were walking me to the car. And this Mexican girl, I don't care what color you are, I love motherhood, but I love babies. Don't have them if you don't want them. It's so serious. Don't do it. And I know it happens. How does it happen? Y'all know. But it's so serious. That's somebody's life. This girl was screaming, "Shut the up," to a baby in a carriage. She had 2. As I walked a little more, she pulled up the top of the carriage at the bus stop, screamed and cursed out. That thing hurt me. So I stopped. Here I go. I don't know who I think I am. I'm so little, but I'm going to go. I'm ready for a fight. Sorry, I'm Christian, but I'm a mama. What in the world would you scream at a 6-month? Because she had issues. I turned around. Everybody said, "You better come," and I'm done. Come, Pastor D. I was like, the Spirit said, "Now that girl is a little heavier than you. You can go and talk to her if you want." The way she's screaming at her, you're going to get beat up. But I prayed. I said, I wish somebody would take those babies from her. She can't handle it. She didn't even care that she was out. She didn't care that other folk were at the hospital, because motherhood, if you're not ready for it, can do real damage to you and the child. So mental health, take care of yourself. I love you.
Thank you.
And I'm
That's
done.
beautiful. That's a beautiful. I think what you're saying, Dr. Morton, is so powerful. You have to be ready, and if you're not ready, there should be a community of people that have come before you in some capacity to help you along the way. I want to pose a question to everyone. When we talk about motherhood in motion, which is this great panel, what does it mean to thrive, not just survive?
You said it best. You inherently deserve joy and happiness and that peace and the love, and to be cared for. I think that's how we thrive in it. I think we find our joy and the peace of it all. And if that means, like Demetria said, flicking a booger on the wall, then that's what we do. But I don't think that there's one correct answer, because my joy and my happiness might be in something else and yours might be in another. But I think you got to find your inner joy. And I think we have to keep our inner child. That is one thing I do say the new generation does, like play and TikTok with their kids. And yeah, some of it is a little cringe, but for the most part, they're being youthful and behaving like children. And sometimes that's the best way to handle it. So yeah, keep your inner joy and your inner child.
Thriving for me is two-part. One, it's understanding. It's understanding yourself. It's leaving room to understand the other person's point of view, have those conversations, delicate, weird, hard, whatever it is, leaving room for understanding. That way we can come together with a viable solution, okay? The other part of it is understanding that you are still growing at every phase of life. I was talking to Marquise yesterday, and I was like, when Cairo was 0 to 7, he was this one person. When he went from 7 to 14, he became a whole different person. By the time he got to 21 and was talking about, hey, you want to go have a drink? I was like, what's happening? Right? Because I was still stuck back here on mom mode. And because I stayed there and he continued to progress, there was this big patch of turbulence right around 14. Where it was like, he gonna go or I'm gonna go. Y'all been there? Okay. So because I didn't realize that I was still growing and that I had to allow room for my baby to become this grown person, a lot more dysfunction that we had that didn't necessarily have to be there. So we didn't get to thrive together the way that we could have until understanding and growth took place on both sides. Once we got there, baby, that's my best friend. And I pray that that helps somebody.
One more thing, give yourself grace, right? I think we are so hard on ourselves as mothers. Like, it's not the world, it's us. We are unforgiving of ourselves. And you gotta give yourself grace. It took a long time for me to get there. Forgive yourself for the things that you didn't do, the things that you will do, all the things you messed up. Like, love yourself and give yourself that grace. You deserve it.
I would say for me, the difference between surviving and thriving has a ton to do with safety. And so I don't believe that you can ask someone to thrive if you have not made them feel safe, right? That is a misuse of my energy. My body actually doesn't even allow me to consider thriving if I am not safe. So safety is required. That is a prerequisite for thriving. And then I believe true thriving is a mindset shift. Instead of what I tend to do, and this is a symptom of being anxious, I use my imagination to think about all the worst things. Because I used to think that was protective. If I could consider and entertain every possible bad thing that could happen, then maybe I could protect myself from it. Now that is a departure from the faith I say I have, right? Because I am not my protector. I serve my protector. And so I had to actually change my mindset to imagine how good God could make it, how good it could get. Like, what if I had a painless birth? Literally leaning into these things. And it was only once I did that mindset shift where I felt safe. I said, well, let me think about how good it could be. That was when I began to thrive.
Yeah, I can. Emotional intelligence. You know, as I said, I'm a Christian, but I'm not going to shout all over the place and dance and speak in tongues and don't know who I am, why I'm here. When you get to, the other word is balance. When you get, first of all, people are afraid to know themselves. You got to know you're good, you're bad. She said, don't be so hard on yourself. You got to apologize sometimes. You know, this other side that I'm, hey, queen, really? I'll take that, but we don't always act queenly. We don't always think queenly. It's okay. We're not perfect. I know that. The perfect one died for me. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all these other things will be added unto you. I needed some things in my life to balance my life out. I gave up my career. My husband said, stay home so I could do church. And I'm like, what? My friends in corporate America. I sought God, and he says, you need to do that. Well, my husband got really popular, and there I was with those kids. So I had an opportunity to pour into them. But I had to figure myself out, and I had to let some stuff go. His will, not mine, totally. The one who made me again. And so emotional intelligence, once you find out who you are, as scary as that may be. How many of y'all are scared of yourselves? That's okay. Because you know where you can go, how you can get there. And then teaching that same thing to your children. Anger, this, that, how to manage all of that. To be good citizens. You say you're Christian, let's be good citizens. Let's find our purpose. I want my kid. Let's laugh. We're not going to shout. You know, my husband was coded. No, we're not going to shout. We're going to laugh right now. He said, I appreciated that, you know, raised in a bishop's home, everything's still. So my kids, to see them thrive. And that, by the way, I wrote a book, Shameless Plug, after I came out of Katrina. You had to be emotionally stable. That was a mess. I lost my dream home I built. I just turned 50. What am I gonna do with that? I told the kids, I'm good, I got y'all. They said, Mom, what about all your beautiful stuff? I don't care about that. I have you. I lost my first grandbaby. That was my pain. I got beyond that stuff. So Beyond the Storm was my book, How to Not Just Survive, but Thrive. You spiritual? No, that is the name of my book. And so I taught my kids through my own actions. It's okay to lose. You can gain again. I want to say that to you. Wherever in life you lose, seek him who made you. Tell him what's going on, what's wrong with me, if you were the reason, whatever. Emotional intelligence is so important. We go through a lot of trauma in life. Get back to the original person who made you. Say, what's wrong with me? I'm a little crazy. Help me, balance me. Then you'll raise these kids, and then you'll be so fulfilled. So I gave him my career. Now I got a career. I'm on the stage with all these beautiful people. So I'll say what they say, churchy. Won't he do it? That is just so not good. But that's what I feel.
Thank you, Dr. Morton. And thank you to all our panelists. What I love about this advocacy work that we're all up here doing is that, Shamea, you said it best, it creates a new community, a community you didn't even know that you needed. And so I'm happy to be up here today with these beautiful ladies. And so I want to close us out and also introduce someone else. So I just want to say thank you all for your courage, your truth, your brilliance, your time. This work is so important. We are supported by a award called PCORI Engagement Award that allows us to to put on events like this, but it's the reach of the ladies in this room that help us reach the masses. And so we've been able to not only reach people in this room, but reach people all over the world. And I think that is how we make change, because you guys have the bullhorn, and I'm so happy you're using it in a way that advocates. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here on the First Ladies Health panel. We hope to bring more opportunity for advocacy to Atlanta. So we'll close right there. And also, I want to say that right after this, we have a resource panel right after. But hold your seats. I'm gonna gracefully exit these ladies off of the stage, and we have one special guest right after. Thank you.
All right. Wow, that was a wonderful panel as well. Let's just give them a round of applause. So we have one more special guest that we're going to introduce. She's a big reason why we're here today and here at Morehouse School of Medicine. I want to introduce Dr. Natalie Hernandez. She is the Executive Director for the Center of Maternal Health Equity here at Morehouse School of Medicine. So she'll give our closing remarks.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I know I'm between you, lunch, and the resource fair. But I just want to say it's an honor to be in this space of healing, of truth-telling, and collective action. As the founder and executive director of the Center for Maternal Health Equity at Morehouse School of Medicine, I want to begin by grounding us in who we are and why we're here. Our mission at Morehouse School of Medicine at the Center for Maternal Health Equity is to cultivate health justice for all people through community-led research, education, and advocacy. And today's convening reflected what that mission looks like in real time. In the first panel, Healing in Action, it centered really on the support, the clinical practices that are needed to reduce trauma and promote healing for Black mothers. And their collective action and message is that healing begins with recognizing lived experience, investing in community-rooted supports, and transforming clinical and policy systems to protect Black mothers. The second panel that we just heard focused and lifted up the power of storytelling, which is something that we hold near and dear to our hearts at the Center for Maternal Health Equity. It's centered on faith, culture, and advocacy in shaping maternal health outcomes. So across both panels, one truth rises clearly. Healing in action requires motherhood in motion. It requires systems that honor culture, faith, family, and community. It requires care that is rooted in dignity, safety, and accountability. And it requires the kind of justice-centered work that we cultivate every day here at the Center for Maternal Health Equity. We do not parachute into communities, we co-create with them. We do not accept preventable suffering, we redesign the structures that cause it. If there is one message I want everyone in this room, whether you're a policymaker, a clinician, an educator, a father, a faith leader, and a family member to hear today, it is this: honor Black mothers by transforming the systems around them, not expecting them to shoulder the crisis alone. So here is our charge. Listen to Black mothers the first time they speak. Invest in doulas, navigators, mental health support, and community-based programs, because there are a lot of programs and a lot of amazing organizations here in the state of Georgia. It's just that we're not coordinated and we're not communicating with one another. Make homes, churches, clinics, and schools trauma-informed sanctuaries. Bring fathers and partners in early, not as bystanders, but as co-advocates. And let data drive action, not delay it. This is no longer a call for awareness. This is a call for bold, coordinated, justice-centered action. So together, we can build a world where Black mothers are not simply surviving, and not even just thriving, but flourishing, held by communities that honor them, supported by systems that protect them, and uplifted by a nation that finally recognizes their immeasurable worth. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to First Ladies Initiative for believing in our partnership. And thank you all. And I hope that you hear that call to action and that you practice that every single day. Thank you.
Okay, well, that concludes our panel portion. We'd like to thank some of our sponsors, AIDS Healthcare Foundation and Black. For those of you who don't know, this organization was started with AIDS and HIV. It was founded by our mother and a small dinner table of some mighty first ladies who felt that knowing your status was an act of protection. And so we continue to partner with our AIDS and Healthcare Foundation, even though we have expanded to other initiatives. We are proud to be the second generation of this organization because it is a mighty organization, and we continue to spread the message that helps the community. We have at the resource fair some giveaways, so make sure you stay by and go see all the tables because you will be nicely surprised. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. There are AIDS and HIV screenings, so just go, if you go to the AIDS and HIV table, you will receive a gift. Thank you.